Hello, good evening, and welcome to Candy's Crafts Corner. How are you all doing today? It's been a while. I know I've been away for a few weeks, taking care of my parents. But here I am again, back and ready to resume. I just heard something. All right, looks like everything is fine. I think I misspelled the title of this video, but once you see what I'm doing, it will be all fine. So let's get started. I'm just making sure everything is visible to me. And here we are. All right. So today's video is alternatives with this month's, well, last month's technically, Paper Pumpkin, which was Cozy Christmas. I liked it a lot. You know that October is always my favorite Paper Pumpkin because it's the holiday cards one. And, I enjoy that more than, well, I enjoy it a lot because I need to make a lot of Christmas cards. It gives me ahead of my list. But anyway, so this is this month's or last month's Paper Pumpkin and the cards that came out of the set. They have this velvet detail. I like them all, so that's what I don't make them, so I have more materials to make alternatives for you guys. But this time I like them so much, and I'm like, I'm gonna make one of each, and then I'm gonna use what's left over. So this is the first one, and I like this one very much too, with the ornament, and then we have the Joy to the World here. So you see now my alternatives. I still use the Joy to the World. I use this. This is from the add-on. Sorry, I see. I have two sets of ink of glue here, and one fell. This is from the alternative dies, the add-on dies, sorry, Abundant Joy dies. So I use this Joy in the velvet paper that we have in Cherry Cobbler. And it's a seafoam. It's cute, right? I like it. This comes from the Branching Out dies. I love these dies. They have this in, how you call it? Layering. I don't know if it's layering exactly, but in different sizes, the same thing. And then we have our Christmas tree, which I curled a little bit in the branches. And I use a Merry Christmas stamp, and then you open it like that. So it's a gatefold, kind of. Then we have a regular ornament. As you see, the ornament in the original card had two pieces. This outside piece that you see here and the inside piece. So I separated them so I can have two ornaments. So this is one and this is the other. This is one, sorry, and this is the other one. Okay, so by separating, I get to double my ornaments. And then the last one is very similar to the original. It's this one with the Joy. I use the Elegance, Season of Elegance paper underneath, and I made a window here with the same dies from Branching Out that I was telling you about. And if you see, it's very similar, but it adds a little bit of gold detail, and then I use this gold sequence instead of the red sequence that come in the package, so that kind of picks up the gold thing. Hi. Good evening, Deborah. Good evening, Teresa. Anyway, so we're ready to start with the alternatives. I'll just do a summary again. These are the 4 alternatives that we're going to make today. So we'll start with, I don't know, the first one that I get out of my package. Surprise. All right. So I guess it's the tree. It's the first one I got. So that's a gatefold for the tree. And it's going to be pretty easy if you know this fun fold. So you start with the cardstock that is 11 by 5.5, and we're gonna score it at 2 1/8 on both sides. 2 1 1/8. And we're gonna turn it around, and we're gonna do the 2 1/8. Okay. Then we gotta jiggle it in place by folding it, making sure that it doesn't overlap. You know, when you use your trimmer, sometimes, you know, like just a little variation can cause these to overlap. But then if you do that, just put your edges together and then just press it in place with your bone folder. Then you have the perfect fold. All right. So that's it. That will be your card. I'm just gonna extra burnish it so it gets as close as possible. All right, so now we have these pieces come from the cardstock. One of the card bases, sorry, not the cardstock, the card bases I meant. So one of the card bases had this beautiful, I don't know, geometric pattern, I guess. And it resembles the trees here. So I'm gonna put it facing down with the angle on top, if you know what I mean. So it kind of mimics the tree branches. So we're gonna glue that. Me get mine so I don't miss any steps. I get my sample here. Actually, I'll put it here so you can see it. And this uses the 3 pieces that they gave us in the set to make the sample. The tree, sorry. All right, let's get it all out. We'll save the star for the top of our tree later. All right. And this is for sentiment, but I will stamp in a little bit. So first off, these are the 3 pieces. You put together the tree like this. So what I did is just I curl it a little bit to give the branches a little bit more dimension. Just the tips for extra added detail. All right. I had already done that, I think. It looks curled already. All right, so then we're gonna glue these sides. Thank you, Teresa. I'm glad you like the cards. I'm gonna glue these sides panels. And they're, by the way, 2 by 5 3/8, I think. I'll verify that in a second. I got them cut the other day, so I don't remember. If there's more than one day in the middle of me prepping and coming live, I probably have forgotten and I have to do it again. Yep, 5 3/8 exactly. So this time it worked. It's 2 by 5 3/8, which gives you like an eighth of a 16th of an inch on all sides, I think. There we go. So, Teresa, I hope you had fun crafting away this weekend. We missed you in the team meeting. Okay, so that's the gatefold, and we're gonna put something here. We can put it now or we can put it later. Let's put it now. I think it's easier. So I'm just gonna stamp this with a few of the stars, and I'm gonna do it in cherry cobbler. This set has both cherry cobbler and real red, so you don't have to worry about anything. You can use whichever red you want. You could use Poppy Parade too if you wanted to, but then It's not part of the set, so. We like the matchy elements of that, right? Excellent. You did have fun. I'm sure you did. Last night I had my yearly Christmas workshop with a friend and her friends, and it was a lot of fun. It always is. Very social event. All right, so that's our inside. And I could have done it in green, but honestly, I like the contrast because this star is in red, so I wanted the stars inside to be in red too. And actually, my sentiment is gonna be in cherry cobbler, so let's get it out of the way and stamp the sentiment too. Well, we did a very fun. Teresa is saying that she missed catching up with the team. We did a very fun fall. I can share that with you. Let's see. I'm trying to. This comes with a label that has like the edge following the letters, if you know what I mean. So that's how it looks like. So you have, the regular stuff around it. And I love cherry cobbler, even though my cherry cobbler is giving me a little bit of an ombre thing. I re-inked it, but I think it got more ink in one side, and because the pad is kind of drying out, I may have to replace it. So remind me, and I'll show you the card that we made in the team meeting because it was a lot of fun. And this is how it's gonna go. Oops, sorry. This, like this, and like this, right? But we're gonna put it as far up as we can because we need to put our Merry Christmas down here. So it's gonna overlay a little bit. So let's put together the tree first. And what I did is I used glue dots. And then one. Let's get this long strap. And two for this one. And we just, that's our top. And now we're gonna put 4 here in the bottom. Actually, 3 would suffice, I think. So let's do 3. Why waste glue dots? All right. And now I'm gonna put it as low as I can because, as I said, this tree needs the star on top and the sentiment at the bottom, right? So we're gonna start with the sentiment and then we're gonna work our way up. So I'm gonna put the sentiment as far down as I can with dimensionals on the right side. You could do it on the left side if you prefer, but I'm gonna do it on the right side. And then we're gonna do the tree on the left side, and then it kind of like crosses like this. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I remember we ran out of dimensionals yesterday, but I have more. Don't worry about it. Of course, I have more. Where are my little dimensionals? I don't know if I have any here. Anyway, that's what happens when you have a workshop. Things get used. And sometimes they get put away in places that's not where you put them away, but you know what I'm talking about. I wish I did more workshops like that. My friends are kind of like once a year kind of for these, for the Christmas cards. But I wish I had crafty friends around that would like to get together more often because it's a lot of fun. Anyway, we said, okay, I'm gonna start it up and up there. Hi, Kate. How are you? Of course. Yeah, I'll show you. Deborah said that she saw, uh, sorry, Teresa said that she saw Deborah's um, mystery project from our team meeting. We always do a mystery project. It's the most fun part of the team meeting, other than catching up with friends, of course. But let's see if I did it properly. May have to adjust the inside. Yes, I knew that happened. I put one more dimensional there because you don't want to see that. So let's cut it off. So yeah, so our team meeting always has a mystery project. All right. At least that won't get stuck on the other side. So we have that. Now we have to put our tree. And the tree, we're going to put it like that. And then I think we'll be able to open it up anyway. So as far down as I can, without interfering too much with this. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to put it a little bit higher, like so. So I'm going to put this time my dimensionals on the left side. Trying not to see them from the other side. I think, one more. I think the last one is always the one that kills me. We'll see if we see it or not. All right. Farther down, as far as down as I can. But center. Let's see. All right, that works. That's perfect. All right, and then for the star, we're going to put the star on top of the... I will put it right here, but of course it goes outside of the cardstock. You cannot do that. You won't be able to close it. So we're going to do it like this, right, with a glue dot. I'm looking around to see where I put my mystery card from yesterday's, so I can show you later, because I took it to show the ladies at the workshop yesterday. We actually made a variation of that. It came out very nice. Ta-da! All right, so that's my card. But of course, what's a Christmas tree without ornaments? So I went to town with the ornaments, and not only I got the red ones, I used the red ones that came in the set, but I also used these ones from the Neutrals Adhesive Bag sequence, which has gold and silver and copper, and 2 tones of copper, like a light copper and a darker copper. So I'm gonna use the gold, because red and gold, very Christmassy, and the green is on the car. So there you go. So there we go. We're gonna put this one right here. I like my placement on the original card, so I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel here. Then I put that one here, and then another red one here, and another red one down here, I think. All right, and now for the gold ones, I'm gonna put one right there. Why? What is it? This probably is not white. This probably moved, I think. That probably was around there. So yeah, let's go with that. Be very random that just have one sequence outside of the trees if I'm decorating the tree here. All right, and around there. I think that's pretty dressed up, don't you think? All right, so that's my first card. It's a kind of like a, how you call it, like a gate door, a gate fold. Oh, Now it got stuck, so I'm gonna curl it a little bit more so we don't have the problem when we close it. Just with my fingers. That's it. All right, there we go. Now no problem at all. All right. Gatefold with like crisscross. That's what I meant. That's what I was looking for. All right, so I'm putting my sequences away. Sequence away. Oh no. What's the plural of sequence? Sequences or sequence? Sequence, I guess. I don't know. All right, so this is a very tight. The original cellophane bag broke, so I used another one and it's a little tight. All right, moving on. Card number 2. Thank you. Let's do this one, the C-fold. So for the C-fold, we're using one of the card bases that came in the set that has like a real red star over a cherry cobbler, I think. So how we're gonna do this? We're gonna no, that's not the right one. This is we're gonna actually fold it like this instead of the regular way. And then once you have it like that, we got grab it and just create the C-fold. You can do it with your bone with your trimmer, or you can do it manually with the help of your bone folder. That's it. That's all you need. Pretty nice, right? Nice. And I'm gonna crisp a little bit more this edge so it stays as close as possible. And then what I did is I used the, what's it called, Merry Melody folder. I think it's on back, not on back order, it's retired. But I love this folder for Christmas. I come from a music family, so everything music is nice for me. And this, the music, if you're wondering, it's Joy to the World. So perfect with our Joy here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a sponge dauber, and by the way, I cut this with the branching out dies too, so that's why they have this edge. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm lying. This came like this in the. Now that I think about it, this is one of the inlay pieces that came in the set. Sorry, but then I cut this with the branching out because it has like the same kind of uh, um, corner, and that will be for inside. But first things first. So you see, you can use any embossing folder that you want with this. If you don't have the music one or you want something, you can use snowflakes, you can use branches, like, like holly. The holly embossing folder will be very nice as well, whatever you want. So I'm just going to go lightly with some pecan pie over the, oh, this broke. Sometimes you have to be careful with, this paper was not cardstock, it was more papery, thinner than a regular cardstock, and it gave with the embossing folder, it's a 3D embossing folder, I broke it a little bit here, but nobody's gonna see that because it's gonna be glued. So if you, that happens with any embossing folder. If you go through the top, the raised parts with your sponge dauber or blending brush or a sponge, you will see that the relief of the embossing folder, the embossed parts come alive. Well, sorry, I was out of camera, but all I'm doing is just going through the edges and through the music, and just so it's a little bit more visible. Okay, and also I did it in Pecan Pie because not only is one of the colors of the set, which is this color too, um, but it also gives it a little bit like of an ancient or vintage look. Not ancient, vintage. I meant to say. All right, so once we have that, this we're gonna put right here, and we're gonna glue it in the center. So as you see, it only needs glue on this side. So what I'm gonna do to guarantee that that happens is that I'm gonna put some glue here on this edge, and then instead of putting it here that I don't know where I'm gonna end up, I'm gonna put the glue right here. And I know that will be covered, so I can do a little bit more. And now we center it where we like it. And that's what I like my liquid glue. Some people don't like liquid glue. I love liquid glue. By the way, you have to be careful because the music has a right side up and a right side down. So for you who are not into or don't know how to read music, one way to find out is like the bottom notes, when they have like the 16 notes, it has to go on the right side, the little thingy. So if you do it like this, it will go on the left side, so that would be wrong. Okay, so that's how it goes. And then, oh, I know I did something silly. Yesterday, I gave one of the ladies a piece of the gold that I was going to use for this, and now I don't have any, but I can improvise and get something else. That was very silly of me. I thought I had put it in the thing, but anyway. So we're going to need that at some point, like right now. So let me go grab another one. I don't know if I'll have exactly the same, but I'm going to find some metallic gold. It will take me a second because I have them right here. You could do it with glitter paper as well. I keep all my metallics all together like this, which is a little messy, but believe me, when I need metallics, I know where to go. And then I'm just gonna use a gold piece. This is good enough. I think this was the brass metallic paper. You can use any gold piece that you want. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna put these on dimensionals on the part here. Right, dimensionals, I put them away. Yes, right. It's hard. Actually, I had some for the workshop later. Teresa says it's hard to know which one is the up part, the right part of the music. They made it very difficult. There's some. If they had like the compass or something, the measure, it would be easier. But or the key. But with just the notes, you have to be careful. So yesterday I embossed some pieces for the workshop, and I actually put a cross up to the top in the back of the embossed card so that the ladies will know which part was up. All right. One distinction that I wanted to make, this, well, I wanted to point out, this is not equal. You see, this has the 3 little stars here, and this, the bottom part has these. The upper part doesn't, and that is because that's where you're gonna put, oops, your cap and your thread. So it would be a waste of velvet to put it there. So make sure that when you put it together, that you know that this is the bottom part. So now I'm just gonna go around and I'm gonna fussy cut an edge around these. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about it. Just go for it. Just following the shape of the ornament. I'm just gonna cut this part because it's too big. And then I can just fussy cut better like this. All right, that's pretty good, I think. I'm gonna take a little bit off there. And that's it. I think that's nice enough. All right. So now we get our joy, and I cut this one from with the add-on dies, Abundant Joy. And we're gonna need the little dimensionals, and I don't know if I have any here, but we're gonna need them. I think they may have stayed at the lady that hosted the workshop, but I have extras around here, so. And if not, we're gonna cut one, because now they don't come out. Isn't it funny? Isn't it always the case? Stamping dimensionals, these are the big ones. Oh, here I have. Some of them have to be, there we go. Some of the little ones. I save these that because I use the ones usually that come in the regular package like this. But these ones that come in the paper pumpkin and the kits, I save them because when you're going to a client's house or to a workshop or something, you don't want to take the whole package. So they come very handy. All right, so little dimensionals here. These are extra thick. So I'm gonna put one right there and another one right there, and that's it, because there's not that much room. I could put a little bit or half of it here, but we'll see. I don't think I need it. I did it here, but I don't think we need it. Center it. A little bit further left. There. Well, cute, right? And then we are gonna adhere this here. And I wanna calculate where I want to put my cap, around there. And then we're gonna trim this because the thread is too long, right? The hanging, where it's hanging from. And another thing I wanna do is just, I'm gonna curl this a little bit, very gently so it doesn't break. All right, so, and I'm gonna put a little bit of glue here. There. And then I'm gonna put a mini dimensional on the top. Sorry, I was out of here. On the top, you see? On the top of the cap. There. So basically the bottom of the cap will have the glue. And of course now it's sticking without me having, I should have glued it first, sorry. So let's glue that first and then we can adjust the cap. You may want to put a little bit extra glue that you regularly would do because of the embossing folder. You want to make sure that it's adhering. And the other thing you want to make sure that this little thing goes right to the center of where the fold is, because that will give you the guide. And then the bottom thing, the bottom peak also has to be on the center. So that's pretty good. And now I'm adjusting the cap to where I want it. All right. I like it right there. So this, I would need to put a little bit of glue here so it sticks. I know it should be ideally it should be dimensional, but this is way too thin for a dimensional. So we're gonna leave it like that. Wait a little bit till it adheres. And it doesn't want to adhere. Anyway, meanwhile, we're gonna cut this part, and that's it. Really doesn't want to stick. I don't know what the heck. Maybe it needs more glue. I'm trying to put very little glue because it's very small area. Okay, I think that's better. All right. And now for the inside, we're just gonna put this, and no, I don't know if I did it in my original card, but I'm gonna do it in this one. And this, that I'm gonna put a little bit of the leftover ink so it kind of matches the front piece. A little bit of the ink that's left over in my sponge dauber. I didn't go back to my ink pad, just whatever's left over. It's enough. Also, it picks up the stitching of this die. So, and then we're gonna put some stars too. But I think I did the green star so it matches with these ones. So I'm gonna get my garden green ink pad. And I'm gonna clean my stem using my chamois. And we are gonna get some green stars here. That's it. All right, very simple. Of course, the stars come from the set that of stamps that were part of the paper pumpkin. It had some nice sentiments. We didn't go through them, but there were some nice sentiments. I don't know if I have them here. Here, yes. We have your Merry Christmas to the world, so that you can do joy to the world and deck the halls. And then we have a big star and then the little stars. Okay. All right. So now we glue this, making sure that it's not visible from the front, which won't be because the card that we use is bigger than in the front is bigger than this. So in theory, if I center this, it should be good enough. And it is. See? So that's it. The last finishing touch is that I'm going to use some Wink of Stella for my leaves here. Give it a little bit of glittery look. Very, very subtle. And for this. And then in this here, I'm using 3 of the sequins. I think the small work better. I did the big ones in there, but I think the small ones will work better. I can use a big one and a small one. And then the small one for that one too. All right. So that's card number 2. All right. Moving on. Who's next? All right. Since we did the ornament, we'll continue with the theme of ornaments. And we'll do this other card. This is a regular base card. As you see, I like this. I put it, it's a good detail for the inside, right? And I used the outside of the frame of the sorry, I can, the outside of the frame of the other ornament. Okay, sorry about that. I blanked for a second. And I use also these little elements, Chinese stars or something. I don't know how you call them, for the base card. So let's start doing that. So I have to clean my stamp again, because now we're going to go back to Cherry Cobbler. And that just gives a little bit more detail to the base card than just doing it right with a straight cardstock. So I'm just gonna go around. I don't have to do the middle because the middle is gonna have the card. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just you can move it like this, so you get variation on your edges. Like this, I mean. I don't know if I was on camera when I was doing my show thingy. I think it needs something else here. And something else in this corner. All right, that's good enough. Anything else that I have to stamp? I don't think so, because on Sentiment, I hit embossed in gold here, and I don't know if I have that pre-done. Yes, I do. There we go. I hit emboss that. Because I don't like to hit emboss on camera because it's way too noisy. I don't have the cable long enough, and anyway, it's complicated. So this is one of the cards that came in the set. And this is a piece of metallic gold that I embossed with this star embossing folder that was part of the 3D basic embossing folders. I was at three embossing folders together. You can use whatever you want. I just wanted to show that some texture to that ornament, give some texture to the ornament. And then we're gonna put this like this, and we're gonna do what we did for the other one. That we're just gonna go around it. And then we'll embellish it with some greenery, okay? So let's start with the ornament. We're gonna adhere it with glue dots. I'm gonna put a glue dot here, a glue dot there. I'm almost at the end of the row, but I have another one right here ready to go. So there we go. I hate that now they changed this, and you're wasting this, because this is, you cannot use it because it's stuck to this cardstock. So all these, the last 8 you don't use there. It's very infuriating. But anyway, it used to be another way that they did it another way, but I think the manufacturer changed its way. But as I said, I have another pack ready to go. And I like to put a little ribbon here so I don't have my tail and being undone or anything like that. So just knot it. I use the same ribbon because I can still use it. So why waste it, right? All right, so and then you just move it like this. There's one there, and one there, and I'm gonna put 3 or 4 here in the center. I'm using my piercing tool because it's small and it's always on my desk. We don't sell this anymore, but if you have the take your pick tool, it works. We use just the piercing part of the tool I just don't have it set up. My go-to for the take your pick tool is the putty that helps you pick embellishments, and the stylo, and I could change that when I want to, but I have this, so that works for me. All right, so I'm just gonna put this here, center it. It doesn't need to be centered. I just need to have enough that when I cut this, you won't be seeing the edge. All right. Ooh, I have 7 people watching. Who else is watching? Maybe somebody in YouTube. I don't know why it doesn't show. Let me scroll in YouTube. But anyway, sorry. If I cannot see the YouTube comments, I apologize. But that means I will do a raffle because, every time I have 6 people or more watching live, I do a raffle. So I'm just going around a little bit on the slant, so the edge of the cut is underneath the red part. Hi, Sandy. How are you? What are you doing up so late for you? All right. So I'm going to have to think of. Maybe I will do a number because I haven't thought of any trivia question. All right. So that's it. I think it looked very nice. And as I said, if you don't have this embossing folder, you can use just any, just to give it texture. It could be anything you want because there's ornaments in all kinds of textures. So, oh, I'm sorry. Hope you're okay, Sandy. All right. Moving on now. We're going to glue this ornament to our card. This is very straightforward. A little bit of extra because of 2 reasons. One, extra glue, One, it's that it's embossed. 2, that is metallic paper. So it has a little, it's not as porous as other paper. So it doesn't absorb the ink so well. So, oops. I'm gonna, okay. Make sure I'm straight. So don't do layers here. Just center these more or less. All right. So now I don't have another cap for these. So what happened? I thought, well, we need something here because we need to hang this ornament from somewhere. Oh, I'll show you. The first card was, which one was it? The 3. It was this one, Sandy. Sandy said she missed the first card. So this, and it's like a gatefold with a crisscross. All right, like that. So going back to our ornament, it needs something to hang it from. So I'm using the black and white gold baker's twine. I'm using the white one. And I should have put that behind my ornament there, and I just forgot. But anyway, we're going to lift it a little bit, and we're going to put it underneath. And then we're going to tuck it underneath the card. All right. I'm glad you like it, Sandy. Sandy said the card was great. All right, so glue dot. Just put this on the glue dot. And I'll put the whole thing. I'll tuck it under my ornament there. That's it. And then I just want to make sure that it comes out straight, or as straight as possible. So we need to wiggle it a little bit in place. Not a problem. See? Perfect. And now for this, I'm just going to put it with a piece of tear and tape. Before I adhere the whole part, I just want to make sure that it's straight. Now that it's straight, I'll put it down and that's it. I'm not going to remove the backing of this. I don't need to, because this goes mounted on dimensionals to our car base like that. Just gonna put the two center ones a little bit farther in, and then 6 is enough. Don't want to waste dimensionals. Now we put it center like that. All right, that's it. Now we have to decorate and put our sentiment. So and we need a little bit of a bow there for the top. I'm using this cherry cobbler and gold satin ribbon. I think it's retired, but you can use whichever ribbon you want. You can use a gold ribbon, you can use a cherry cobbler ribbon or a red ribbon, whatever, whatever suits your fancy. We're gonna do a bow. It's harder to do a bow now that it's attached there, but we're gonna try. All right. It's such a tiny bow, and it's all right. There we go. We got it. We got it. There. And you're just gonna cut this tail on an angle. And that's it. If you don't want to move it around, you can put a piece of a glue dot, I meant. All right. So we're gonna put a little bit of greenery. It will mimic what the original thing was with, like we will have a bow instead of that, but it will have a little bit of like the hanging thread and a little bit of greenery around it. So let's get a glue dot for that as well. Just lift it. Once you have it in place, you just put the glue dot, lift it, and tuck it back in place. And yes, I don't want this sliding up and down, so I'm gonna put a glue dot behind my, oh, I got stuck there with the greenery. I'm gonna put a glue dot behind my bow there. So this way I will have it sitting pretty. Oh, I'm glad I'm using all of your favorite things, Sandy. Right there. I think I went a little high. Oh my God, it's coming undone now. No. Ugh, I think I got it glued to the wrong part. Not that I had it properly done. Come on. Well, I'm going to use another glue dot because that one, I obviously got stuck in the wrong place. There. All right. I would wish this would stay like that, but that's good enough. All right. So now for the sentiment that I've already hit embossed, I'm just gonna go around like this sentiment of the Merry Christmas that I show you. These come in the set, the frames, so to speak. And I'm just gonna fussy cut this in the same way, kind of. I really like the fonts on this set. Just going around like this, rounding it. I want it more round there. I think that's good enough, except that I want this a little bit more round. There. Now I'm happy with it. This is gonna go here in dimensionals, but I'm gonna put this by the way come from the branching out bundle. I don't know if we need to trim it a little bit or not. I don't think I trimmed it. I just think I just put it like that. So I'm gonna put dimensionals behind my sentiment. Let's take this out of so unsightly there. My dimensionals were right here. I went to my folder of dimensionals, but they were already there. All right. And then just so that I can stick these a little bit of glue. Okay, that's too much because we don't want this getting out of the frame of the card. Maybe it's a little too long. Maybe a little bit like that. And now our sentiment on top. And that's it. Just to finish it off, we're gonna use some sequins because they gave us so many. So I'm gonna use 3 of them. 1, 2, and 3. All right. And that's card number 3. Okay. This is pretty easy, but it uses all the elements, So by dividing the frame and the inside of the ornament, you get to have 2 ornaments. And then the last one is this one, which is very close to the original one. Just that I cut with the branching out dies, I cut a frame out of it. I'm gonna use this for something else. It says gingerbread man to me here. Like, you could put a Merry Christmas. I did this Merry Christmas. I'll show you in a second. This is not with this is, I use the stencil. I'll show you in a second. But anyway, let's finish the card and then I'll show you how I made that. Do you want to see it? And we haven't had the raffle yet, so let's do that. I'm gonna think of a number from 1 to 20. What is it, like 1 to 25? Gonna write it down in a piece of paper. And it's gonna be, okay. I thought of a number of between 1 and 25. So the first one that I see that says the number, it will win a little something from me. A surprise little gift. All right, so for this card, while you're saying numbers, I'm using a piece of Season of Elegance. I'm using the beige one because it goes so well with this paper. And I have here a piece that's cut at 11, 17, 7. Nope. Deborah, 8. I saw it. Yes, 8. Thank you for playing. Deborah will get something from me in the mail. And this is 508 by 4 of the Season of Elegance that has the gold. But then we're going to put this on top. Well, we're going to glue this. It's going to be a simple card, as I said. Yay, Deb. All right. So now we have this frame. And see, it's kind of like the original card was like this. But this, because I removed the centerpiece, it gives like a little bit more of the gold part, which I like to see. And now we need what we need. We need joy. We need joy. And for this, we need to put together joy, actually. I forgot about that part. Comes with some letters. They're pretty easy to put together. Just a little bit of liquid glue. I'm starting in the center. I'm so glad to have the hearts. Thank you so much. I would totally recommend liquid glue for this because you can adjust it to place. You know, you have the wiggle room to adjust it. Just put a little bit of glue, not too much, because you don't want it coming out of the seams. See this farther down and farther here. It allows me to put it in place as I want it. I don't know, this came wrong, but that's what it came with, you know. So there's a little bit of extra cardstock there that it bothers me. So I'm gonna clip it there. All right, so now for the Y. Please, if I'm not on camera, let me know because sometimes I move the table and I don't see it. Speaking of. All right. So I'm starting with the circle. That's what it was easy for me. I start with the circle and then I just adjust the letter in place. That's pretty good, I think. All right. So now we have 2 pieces of green. Nerdy. Oh, we didn't finish the inside of the card on the other one. I just saw that. I'm like, oh, what happened? We have this and we have the other one. And there's one that goes on the top and I don't remember which one. So I'm going to check. Okay. So this one that has the 4 goes on the top. 4 little branches. This one only has 3, goes on the bottom. Okay. So we're just going to put it a little bit of glue there. And slide it in place. I put too much glue there. I want a little bit more like this. So I can see more of the branch, and I like to overlay the the branch in top of the O, and this one too. There. I like it like that. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same on the bottom one. The same but different. Just a little bit on the center because some things will be seen. There. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. No, this is too much. All right, so that is then. Yeah, like this. All right, so now we have that. Now we're gonna put this in dimensionals, the frame. Oh, I hope you get to work on your paper pumpkin, Sandy. All right, so I'm gonna put here in the middle of the frame. Very important when you have long pieces that are thin, long pieces, that you reinforce the sides too, because otherwise they fall and you lose the effect of the raised frame. All right. Ugh, it fell too quickly. I'm just gonna try to do it so there's the same amount of the bottom paper showing on the sides. I think that's pretty good. Oh, I forgot that we have to stamp to the world here. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it. All right, let's see. There, perfect. My trip was okay, Sandy, you know, with parents getting older. It's not all fun and games, but, you know, it was a good time. Plus, it was my parents' 60th wedding anniversary. So we celebrated that. So that's nice that I was able to be there for that. Thank you for asking, Sandy. Alrighty. By the way, I use the sequences, the gold sequences, as you saw me doing. You can, if you don't have gold sequences, you can put another gold embellishment, or you can use the sequence, the red sequence. But I think this one needs more of a contrast, so I like that a lot. So I'm gonna put glue dots on here and here because I don't want to mess with the glue. Here, here, and here, and here. So let's see, probably 4. And here, right in the edges. I think it's here. Here. And here. And I think this one can use one as well. As can this one. If one doesn't touch the frame, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect it so much. Thing. And if you want to keep the raised thing, you can put a dimensional here. So let's do that. I don't think I did it originally, but I think it would be a good idea. So to keep the raised edge on the top, on the center, I mean. All right, so now we put it center. Look, farther down, farther down. Ugh, I want it a little bit down. There. I think this is pretty center and it looks nice. All right, so that's my third card. And let's put some stars in my last card. I mean, let's put some stars here and there. And for my previous card that I forgot to finish, for the inside, we're gonna do the same. And then I want to show you how I made the extra Merry Christmas. That's not the one. That's the one. This Merry Christmas that I have right here. Using the stencil, very easy. I think we'll do it in another color though. We'll do it in red. All right. So, as to this, I have the stencil where this came from. Let me grab a piece of scrap. Actually, I can do it in beige or I can do it in white. Let's see what I have available here. Will it fit? Yeah, we can do it that way. Yes, it will fit that way. All right. So, here's my stencil of where the labels came from the set. So I'm gonna grab my stamp. I'm gonna stamp it normally. That's when you run out of the labels, you can do that. I'm just gonna stamp it normally. Right? And then I'm gonna use a sponge dauber. Let's see if I can find my cherry cobbler one, or what I think is my cherry cobbler one. Hopefully it's dry, so it doesn't matter. It's reddish. I'm just gonna go. I put too much ink in there to begin with, but just a little bit like that. You can do it lighter than I did. Basically, instead of like rubbing like I did at the beginning, just it works better like this. But anyway, so once that's done, we close it. And then you can just do around this, fussy cut around the white frame, like I did in my other one. All right. Oh, I didn't do much frame there. That's okay. I'm just trying to go fast. But that gives you an idea of what I meant, right? There you go. So yeah, nice little sentiment for a card. And even if you don't have the labels, you can still use something like that. I hope you like it. And anyway, and now because I promised Teresa, I'm going to show the fanfold card that we did yesterday in the team meeting. I'm going to have to get up and get it because I wasn't ready for it. But it's right here on my dining room table. All right. Yes, thank you, Teresa. My parents, yes, they're happy. Well, my father has Alzheimer's, so it's not so great. But he still enjoys moments, happy moments in family. Uh, everything that's emotional, he remembers, or he realizes. So it's always bittersweet, but at least they're still with us. That's what counts, right? Anyway, so this is the fun fold that we did yesterday, and it's called a vertical easel. And it goes like this. Then it stands like that. Can you see? And then it opens normally. Very simple. I love this fan fold. It has a hinge here, so it lets you have this floating panel in the middle. Erica in our group did, instead of the square, she used the arches, so that was good too. But that was my card, and I think I'm gonna use that fan fold for something else. Anyway, let's do a recap. I'm done showing you things today. Thank you so much for joining. Let's do the recap. So we did this ornament card, this other ornament card, the C-fold, and then we did, where's the other one? The one with the gold Season of Elegance paper, or 3 with a crisscross gatefold. All right. So thank you so much for joining. Deborah, you will be getting something at some point from me for winning the raffle. And I'll see you next week, probably with more Christmas cards or Christmas card ideas. Okay. So thank you so much and have a lovely, lovely week. Bye.